Hi, Sunny. I'll be starting a broadcast here in just a minute. Hey, DEFCON, how are you this evening? I'm just waiting for a few more people to get in here. I have some things to talk about tonight. I want to make sure everybody's aware of all the wonderful threats I've gotten today. Can you guys hear the music okay? It should just be really low. Hey, everybody. Hi, Jolene. Hi, Lemon. Hi, Pat. Give me just a couple minutes here and we'll get started. I just want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to hop in here because this is an impromptu stream. I have no idea what you guys are listening to. I just know that it's not copywritten music. And I wanted to make sure there was something for you guys to hear. Hi, Kimber. Hi, Steve. I know, it's late. I'm so sorry about that. If you want, you can watch this on the replay, but I hope you stick around with me. I'm going to be talking about some things that occurred today that I think everybody might be a little interested in. Hi, Rocky. Hi, Wonder Woman. So you guys know it must be good if I'm up at this time doing a live stream, right? You know something really ticked me off, didn't you? Don't you? Give it about one more minute here. Yes, the babies are great. Sunny, thank you so much. They're doing really well. We've got 4 very fat potatoes. Hi, Kimber. So what you guys are listening to is some just basically some non-copywritten music that they produce here on excuse me, here on YouTube. And I will be putting the link in the description in case anybody wants to head over to that channel. There's several things to choose from, but I just needed something really quickly. Hey, Sean. Hi, the cat Nat. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Go ahead and stop this so that way I am not talking over music. All right. So we have some interesting things to go over this evening. I was going to do just some regular videos and post them like I normally do, but I decided that I didn't want to do that because of something that occurred this afternoon. I wanted to make sure everybody had a good idea of what really occurred, and I figured you needed to hear me talk about it in order to truly understand it. But before I go there, I do want to show you guys, I'm going to screen share this with you, what came out from the Justice Department early this morning. This is with regards to Anthony Troy Williams. As you know, I posted the exclusive video of him at the courthouse in federal court receiving his sentencing. He received 20 years on top of the 15 years, which these are, they're requiring him to serve the 15 first and then the 20. He did that to himself because he would not stop. He showed no remorse whatsoever. He would not stop lying. So the judge said, screw it, I'm throwing the book at you. And she did. So anyway, this was out as of, it's dated for Monday, but it didn't come out until this morning, is my understanding. Honolulu, Hawaii, Anthony T. Williams, 49 years old, of Pineville, Louisiana, was sentenced today in federal court by U.S. District Judge Leslie Kobayashi to 240 months imprisonment for wire fraud and mail fraud in connection with a fraudulent mortgage relief scheme. A federal jury convicted Williams on March 3rd, 2020 of 32 counts of wire fraud and mail fraud after a 4-week trial. Williams marketed a fraudulent mortgage debt reduction scheme to distress homeowners who were mostly non-native English speakers in the Filipino immigrant community in Hawaii. Williams created 2 companies, Mortgage Enterprise Investments, MEI, and Common Law Office of America, CLOA, neither of which was licensed to service or modify mortgages. Through MEI, Williams made conflicting promises to clients that he would eliminate their existing mortgage obligations to their lenders or reduce their mortgage obligations by half. Through CLOA, Williams promised legal representation in mortgage-related litigation and foreclosure proceedings. To give himself the appearance of credibility, Williams told prospective clients he was a private attorney general and brandished an official-looking law enforcement badge and credentials despite not having a law license or any affiliation with law enforcement. Williams falsely promised victims that he could eliminate their existing home mortgage obligations by filing bogus documents with the Hawaii Bureau of Conveyances. These documents included new MEI mortgages and notes obligating homeowners to make their monthly payments to him at MEI. Williams was then advising homeowners to stop making their mortgage payments to their actual lenders and to pay him instead. Between 2012 and 2015, Williams enlisted 112 victims in Hawaii into his MEI program and fraudulently obtained over $230,000 from his victims without providing any legitimate services whatsoever. Several victims testified at trial that they had relied upon Williams' representations and went into foreclosure or bankruptcy. 2 victims testified that they had lost their homes as a result of Williams' scheme. So for several years, Anthony Williams actively preyed upon distressed homeowners within the Filipino community here in the state of Hawaii. His scheme financially devastated his victims, forcing some into bankruptcy and homelessness. As a result of this prosecution, Williams' scheme has come to an end, and Williams will be incarcerated for 20 years. My office will continue to protect the most vulnerable members of our community, said U.S. Attorney Price. Okay, so I won't go any further. This will be linked in the description. It goes into talking about how Anthony Williams went about targeting the specific immigrants that he did. It's a really, really ugly scenario, as the majority of you guys that have been following this with me knows. It's finally over, thank goodness. Total of 35 years. He'll be in his 80s by the time he's even looked at for getting out, due to the fact that without remorse of any sort and without him admitting that he did anything wrong, the judge literally threw the book at him. He's done for. All right, so hello, DJen. So let me, just for a moment here, let me put that in your mind, because we are dealing with a sovsit, a scammer, and someone who likes to tell people through the internet, through his YouTube channel, through, other sources, that they can do these schemes and scams, and they can break the law, and they can get out of debt, and they can collect, fancy accounts that don't exist from the government, and all these other things that I've been fighting against for, we're damn near going on 5 years now. And today, in total, he's got 35 years, DJen. Because there has been such a large amount of individuals of the online Moors that have been finding their way into jail cells, finding their way into getting arrested, or in other instances, finding their way in some form of trouble. And I've been exposing a great deal of that over this last year, and even more so over the last, I would say, 4 to 5 months. And I knew sooner or later I was going to hear from the heads of one of these groups, and today it happened. So I'm going to be going over the email exchange that occurred before I had to contact the FBI and my personal attorney in order to alert them of the situation. Now, we have, hi, Loyal American. Hello, everyone who's shown up that I have not said hello to. I apologize. So, we're going to be going over that email exchange because you're probably going to be hearing a lot more about this, because it will not just be my channel that they will be coming to. So there is a group that has a strong belief, a group within the group within the group of the Moors, the online Moors, not talking about the temple Moors, that actually believe that they have a government within a government within a government, and there's not a darn thing you can do to touch them. They have the right to do whatever they want. If they want to come into your home and drag you out and throw you in a kangaroo court, that's their right. They strongly believe in the Sovset ideology and don't recognize it to be the Sovset ideology. They think they've made it up somehow. And you're going to see that by the email exchange. These people believe that although what they really have is simply a filing with the Secretary of State, just like anybody who opens an LLC or a corporation would have, they believe they've formed their own government. And as a result of that, now they can get their own police force, and they can take away your freedom of speech, and they can do all kinds of things. So I'm going to be showing that to you right now. Let me get that moving here. And we're going to go over it because if nothing else, you guys can get a good laugh. Now, under normal circumstances, this type of thing does not irritate me. But one of the things that I have a serious problem with, and this has all been, I took out email addresses for obvious reasons, but, and I've repasted this so I could read it to you guys. One of the things that really upsets me, you can say a whole lot of stuff to me, a whole lot. You can call me, all kinds of names, and you can say that I'm unattractive, or you can say that I'm, my hair's too long, or whatever. But don't fucking call me stupid. Don't treat me like I'm stupid, and don't assume that I'm stupid. That would be the one thing that really does get under my skin. Now, call me egotistical or whatever, but no one has ever accused me of being stupid. So when you start talking to me or throwing out things at me that it's very obvious that I'm going to know, with the inclination that you can get over on me somehow, that begins to piss me off. So here we go. I think you guys will kind of get the gist of this in terms of why this would be irritating to me. And just so you guys know, while I'm doing this, I won't be able to see the chat. So if those of you that have wrenches could please watch, just for the protection of everybody else, I really appreciate it. So it started out with a comment on my website, and sent me a little email type thing, message type thing in the internal messenger saying, hey, you did that video talking about how this guy's license plate was fraudulent. And that's not true, because our government is allowed to make licenses and license plates. And we've gotten permission from the state of Indiana to do it. No, I know that that's not accurate, obviously. So I said, you know what? If you've got documentation to show that you have the right to make license plates and all this other stuff, whatever, forward it. And that's how this got started. So that actual video that was up a couple days ago is what started this, because they did not like the fact that I made the claim that, you can't be making your own license plate. Imagine that. So here we go. It says, greetings, Virgo. Per your request, attached are the following certified documents. Number 1, United States of America Republic State Charter. It consists of 67 total pages. Look on page 37 of 37 of 67, under Article 7, Section 1, specifically paragraph clause 2 through 4. this section grants authority to issue driver's licenses. Then he goes on to say number 2, which is the District of Columbia's certificate of registration, reference DC code blah, 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 to discover the general powers of the holder of the certificate. Now, here's the funny thing. When you look at these, what these are, with the exception of the charter that they wrote, by the way, they wrote. The Moors wrote it. These 2 other things are basically certificates of good standing. And for those of you that have never been involved in, sat on the board of, or opened up a corporation or an LLC, what that is a certificate that's annually provided to you or anybody who requests it, who might be a vendor, from the Secretary of State that says, hey, yeah, they're filing their annual reports. They're not just letting things go willy-nilly. So they're in good standing in terms of having their license paid up to the Secretary of State, having their filing fees paid, and they're filing their annual reports to the state. Okay, that's it. That's all it is. So these other 2 things are authenticated letters of certificate of good standing from the Commonwealth of Virginia and from the District of Columbia. There's nothing more. I have exactly the same thing for my corporation. Exactly the same thing. But it's a big deal to them, Virgo, for your convenience, you may visit the Indiana Secretary of State website and follow the following steps to verify the state charter documents. You may also reference Indiana code, blah, blah, blah. All right, then he goes into proceed to explain to me how I'm supposed to go about researching this in the Secretary of State's office, which most people know is super simple. Gives me the business ID. And then he says, lastly, Virgo, after a proper examination of the document, you should discover that pursuant to the provisions of the said codes, certificates of authorities, and charter, that the United States of America Republic is a state government, specifically for those Americans or Moorish descent who pledge an allegiance to the state of Americans of Moorish descent, and that it does indeed have the recognized right, power, or authority to issue driver's licenses and plates. So that you are aware, I serve as the Secretary of State of the province of Virginia for the United States of America Republic. Virgo, thank you for responding, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Rich. So here was my response. You didn't include the jurisdiction referendum for verification. Please advise. Okay. So for those that don't know what I'm referring to is show me the vote. Show me the vote where they voted you. They voted to authorize your charter to be one that has the authorization to make driver's licenses and license plates that would be out there all over the nation and recognized by the government, not just the state governments, but the federal governments. I mean, when you stop and think about it, that has to do with freedom of movement, correct? It has to do with the 10th Amendment. I mean, you don't just willy-nilly get to go, oh, hey, I think I'm going to make some plates today. That doesn't work. I mean, that's not how things go, So that was all that I said. This is what I got back. I mean, like a book. I got a book back. Virgo, perhaps I'm not fully understanding your request for the jurisdiction referendum. Therefore, can you be more specific in what you're seeking? So translation, folks, Virgo, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because I've never heard of such a thing before. All right, so I digress. I will kind of shorten this for you guys because it is literally a book. So basically what he does is he goes in to try to explain things away. With that, I said, if you are requesting where the states of Indiana, Virginia, and District of Columbia grants the United States of America Republic the jurisdiction to issue licenses within the same geographical borders, you would first need to understand, remember I'm an idiot, that in order to first receive a certificate of registration authority, USAR had to first submit the USAR charter to the Department of said states. Yes, you had to write down on a little form on the internet that you wanted to actually open up a corporation. Yeah, I get that. And then he says the charter expresses the rights of the USAR government right to issue licenses to its nationals and citizens. See referenced article 567. Let's see, section 1 of the USAR. Once the provisions of the USAR charter were reviewed by the governing bodies and found to be consistent with the Constitution of their state and consistent with the United States federal Constitution, the certificate of registration authority was granted. See, now that is not how things work at the Secretary of State's office. That's a filing office. So just because you go in and you fill out a little form and you pay your $50 filing fee and you upload your documents, that's where they're held in case they ever come in question. But they don't review every single thing you do. Just because you uploaded your own pre-written charter of what you wanted it to look like does not mean that there are attorneys waiting at the other end going, oh yeah, that looks good. Yeah, let's take that over to the Congress building. Yeah, let's vote on that tomorrow. That isn't how this thing works. So this is what he's trying to tell me. This is what he's trying to spoon feed me though, okay? So my response is this. In order for the state to issue a charter and be within their rights to issue said charter, they are required to the principle and practice of submitting to popular vote a measure passed on or proposed by a legislative body or by popular initiative. I'm asking for that data. Like, what is wrong with you? You're supposed to be the Secretary of State for the province of nowhere, right? So why are you not able to understand what I'm asking you for? This is what I get back. Virgo, that's a great question. I still don't know what the hell you're talking about, but the answer is that USAR is not under the jurisdiction of any of the states that have granted their certificate of registration. I'll be goddamn, you guys. If he is not under the jurisdiction of any of the states, then why the hell is he bothering to file with them? You know? I mean, I'm just saying. So I inform him, in the United States, you cannot operate under another jurisdiction without the authority of the original jurisdiction. Your claim was out of the state of Indiana. That was not my claim. That was your claim. And that's what makes them the jurisdictional authority. There is no further argument to be had unless you can point me towards the legislation that provided you with the authorization to print up state driver's licenses and state plates that would be recognizable by every single other state throughout the nation as the original claim was stated. So then, this is what I get back, because obviously I'm not going to get that data, right? With all due respect, I know that it's difficult for you to accept the fact that there is now a recognized government for those American people of Moorish descent who have pledged their allegiance. I've provided you with the certified government documents substantiating their recognition of the USAR. Basically, quote unquote, lady, you're a racist is what he's trying to say. We know that you're against us. We know that you must be prejudiced, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be speaking out against us. Even though what I just told you about Anthony Troy Williams, for example, that's the kind of crap they're doing. But they're justified in doing it. Watch, because their charter says so. Americans of Moorish descent are not foreigners to America. Therefore, we do not require permission to establish a government for ourselves. The right to establish our government is expressed with the provisions of the ratified treaties, codes, statutes, and constitutions that I provided to you. Now, the last I checked, there wasn't one single treaty, code, statute, or constitution that allows them to do what they're doing by breaking the law. And there isn't anyone out there, with the exception of a few places that are allowed to make things like vanity plates, that are allowed to make plates and driver's licenses that are recognized interstate, outer state, throughout the nation, the way the U.S. government does. But this is what he's trying to get me to believe. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to tell you what I wrote back to him, and then I will tell you the ending result of this very irritating exchange. What you have given me so far constitutes nothing more than a simple club, which is exactly what you have the right to have, a club. However, it does not give you the right to print driver's licenses or plates for automobiles that would be used outside of that club's actual property limits. Therefore, it does not provide you with what your claim is. There's a reason why states are allowed to use driver's licenses within each state from a different state. There's a reason why a license plate is recognized from one state to the next, as it has to do with the freedom of movement within the Constitution of the United States of America and the 10th Amendment, that the same government has given the rights to the states to create their own driver's licenses and plates and are interchangeable and used within the entire nation. What you have and the documentation that you have provided legally provides you with a club or an organization that is able to print up their own documentation for the purpose of being used within that club only. It is not giving you permission to print up licenses or license plates that would be recognized by any other city, state, or governmental entity. Having said that, it also means that it is not giving you permission as a government would have to print up any license or registration documents, such as license plates, that would ever be recognized by another government within this nation. Let's be clear. One of the things that is very distasteful to me is to play with the idea that someone does not have the intellect needed to understand our own laws and regulations. The idea that you could forward this information to me with the assumption that it would somehow convolute or confuse my knowledge of how our city, states, and country runs is insulting. If you have state legislation or federal legislation that shows otherwise, please forward it to me, as the Attorney General of the state of Indiana will also be interested in seeing it. That caused some ruffling of feathers. And as you can see here, they sent me out of their little charter, the purposes and nature of business. And it says this state government is invested with the powers and the authority to create and enforce laws and impose taxes, include protection of lives and property by maintenance of a police force. And then he went on to tell me that I refused to agree that he has started his own government and he has the right to print up his licenses and his license plates and everything, that because it is your habit of exposing Moorish Americans and Sovsits on your YouTube platform, in addition to presenting the laws that makes their actions illegal, your failure to investigate, rebut, refute, or present contrary findings is essentially equal to a prosecutor knowingly and willfully withholding exculpatory evidence. May your morals, ethics, and character lead you properly. All right. Comments, everyone. Comments on my morals, my ethics. Can you believe the freaking arrogance of these people? As a result, that is an open threat. As a result, I have spoken to the FBI. I have spoken to my personal attorney. I have had to forward a cease and desist, and this has been going on since this afternoon. So, love you guys too. I decided, hey, I'm not going to suck it in this time. I'm going to let all you guys know. I'm going to put it all out on Front Street so that you can see that it is not just a matter of specific individuals like Anthony Williams or specific individuals like the guy who drugged the cop into traffic the other day, or specific individuals that are just selling packages online like a lot of these Moors are doing. This is a large group of them that have gotten together and are attempting to try to overthrow a government via making their own government by using our actual Secretary of State offices as citizens, Okay, those are our offices. Now, if they're citizens here, but they claim not to be, then it's their offices too. But regardless, who's giving you permission to open your little club or organization, even though they claim it's not a club, even though they claim it's a government? You know what? You have to file that paperwork, because that's who gives you permission to run your little club or your little organization. Or in your case, your little government, right? Because that's what you think you've got. But yet you're going under United States statutes, codes, and laws in order to get that little bit of permission. And you think because you write a line in a charter written by yourself that you're allowed to print up driver's licenses and license plates, that makes you an authority of some sort, that everybody has to bow down to you from other states and the federal government. Now, I feel like, well, why don't I just go to the Secretary of State's office tomorrow, and I'm going to start a business, and I'm going to write in my own charter that I'm the only one that can print up driver's licenses and registration plates, and heck, insurance cards too. I'm the only one. Now what? Now what? Now what are they going to do? What are the states going to do? They all have to bow down to my authority, right? I mean, do you get how retarded that is? But yeah, seriously, I actually had to go as far as to turn this in as a threat, because they would not stop, claiming that I am somehow a terrible person for exposing their fraud. And so they're going to come after me with their personal police force and everything. It's just so damn silly. I mean, it's like, what are we? I feel like I'm on a 5th grade playground most of the time. I really do. I was sitting tonight talking to my spouse, and I said, you know what? I can remember when I was about 8 or 9 years old. And my grandfather was a big, big man. And he had this really booming voice. And it used to scare me when I was little, when he would get mad. And he never really got mad at me, but he got mad at the TV a lot. My grandfather liked to watch a lot of politics, okay? And I never really understood. I didn't get it. I didn't understand why he was constantly yelling at the TV. And I said one time, if you get so upset, then USA Republic, there you are. There you are. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There they are. The ones that feel that they have the right to claim authority where no authority has been provided. So everybody give them a hand. Give them a hand. Okay, you need to get off my channel now because you've already been forewarned. All right, so I can remember thinking to myself or saying, why is it that you even bother watching anymore? If you're going to get that upset or that bothered by the politics that are on TV, don't watch it, right? Don't watch it. I am 49 years old. I'm yelling at the TV. So this kind of ignorance, this kind of asinine type of behavior is irritating. It just is, especially when we're dealing with groups all over the place currently. It isn't just the Moors. We're dealing with the other fringe groups that are making crazy claims that are almost exactly the same on the other side of the spectrum. You know, it is so freaking irritating. Are you guys not irritated on a regular basis that you're having to see this stuff? And then they actually have the audacity to show up in your email on your live streams, in your, it's not a matter of, we're not going to just discuss let's discuss it. Okay, provide me with what I need to show me that you're real. No, I don't want to provide you with that. You're going to believe that I'm real. And if you don't believe that I'm real, well, I'm coming after you. It's insane out there today. So why bother? Why bother just saying, you know what, I'm not going to put my subscribers through this or whatever. I'm going to just make a video about it and help people will understand that they've got to actually look at all the different sections to all the different laws. So here are the different laws and here are the different sections, and hope that I save a few people along the way from falling into these holes with these jokers that are full of crap. No, I'm just going to put it out on Front Street from this point forward. I'm not going to do that anymore. I've tried to be civil about it. I've tried to be nice about it. I've tried to say, you know what? I think that they're confused, but they're not confused. They want to push their way through, and they're just not pushing past me. So, Mr. USAR, you want me to look at your stuff? Come up with the data I asked you for, because that would be what would be required. And I know that you're not legally authorized. As I said, you need to contact the Attorney General of Indiana, and probably the Attorney General of the other two states that you're trying to use the claim of a certificate of good standing as some proof that you're something. All right. What is this? Virgo and Degeneration Nation 2024. Degen, how popular do you think that would be? That's pretty funny. I know you've got to be laughing your ass off right now. That is pretty funny. Oh my goodness. So, just so that you guys know, there's been, there's been an open threat that's been made, and I'm not going to mess around with it in any way, shape, or form. But many of the watchdogs may actually hear from this individual. I don't know. I'm obviously not the only one exposing them. So that's it. That's where we're at. Let's see. President Virgo and First Man Degen. That's funny, Alan. Oh. Well, Degen, I'd be happy to I would be happy to introduce you to them. But quite honestly, I did not get so much as a decent hello myself. It was pretty much, you're wrong in your video. I'm going to prove that you're wrong. You're either going to like what I'm saying and buy it, or if you don't, then we're going to start getting nasty. And that's exactly what happened. Now, C. Cannon Bay is actually the one who did all these filings and everything else. And there's been a massive amount of research that I've done on this individual. He's been around for a long, long time. And, he started out kind of around the time that people started really seeing a lot of Taj Tariq Bey. The truth is they're all scammers. They just are. And they get really angry that they can't shove it down your throat, because when it boils down to the facts of providing the documentation that would prove that they're allowed to do these things, they never can provide it. So, this is something that they will continue to do until they're shut down. They go away, they come back. And it's not a matter of, I have absolutely no issues whatsoever with the Moorish Science Temple. It's not my religion, but I believe in freedom of religion. I have no issues with them at all. They're good, law-abiding citizens that are attempting to try to help their communities. But the lying and the selling of false documents, You're right, Degen. The Moroccans can't stand them. They really can't. Mr. Swindle Hoodwinked's channel has contacted a few Moroccans and talked to them. I have spoken to two myself. I have some footage of a radio station, a black radio station that is on YouTube that's quite popular that I put up not too long ago, just that snippet of what Moroccans have to say about the Moors. And it's not the Temple Moors that caused the problem. Not at all. It's these online Moors that are actually giving the Moors a really bad name. But they're going to continue with what they're doing. That's obvious. They've one of the rules to being a dealer is to not take your own drug, supposedly. And that's exactly what a lot of these people have done. And then they come on somebody who has researched and studied for years, not just out of school, but in school too, law and the economy and how our political offices work, how our structured government functions, and claim you don't know what you're talking about, bitch. I love it. I love it. The arrogance that goes along with the ignorance of these people is amazing. It's amazing. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? All right. So, what do you guys think about the sentence that Anthony Troy Williams received from the federal court? Was it yesterday, the 26th? You guys think that I've gotten a couple of different comments. I've gotten several that have said, "Oh, he got exactly what he deserved by not having sentences that are running together." That he has to serve the 15 years out of Florida before the 20 years starts. And then I've gotten other people that have said, "No, I think that's too steep. He didn't actually, he didn't commit some kind of heinous act or whatever." I mean, it's pretty heinous. To be honest, lots and lots of people, dozens of people lost their homes and a whole slew of money. But, it's not like, somebody got stabbed or something like that. He got a total of 35 years. 15 of those years were given to him in Florida on a bunch of similar charges. And then he had 32 or 34 counts of felonies that he was charged for these federal charges. So he got the 20 years there. I think they should. Do you think he'll try to continue his crap from inside? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Matter of fact, he is actually he's actually been in contact with a couple of the YouTubers that are apologists of his that are still assisting him. So yes, I do. Just like Eon did. He has continued his crap too. You know what, Lou? He actually, I think he did have one, but I do believe that turned out as something that ended up being dismissed because they were unable to substantiate something. There was something that was wrong with the case. It was a technicality that was let go on, I believe. But yeah, that was actually prior to the Florida thing. Probably won't make 10 due to health. I don't really know what his health situation is. He's 49 and he looks like he's in decent shape. I don't really know. He can now be the private prison attorney general. Yeah. Exactly. Yep, he did it to himself. Okay, offensives of Alabama. I don't know what you mean, Lou. You'll have to help me out with that. I don't know what you mean. Do you mean offenses? And I'm not sure where that particular offense was. Could have been Alabama, but I don't remember. Rodent of Angered. I listened to the judge for the second part. Well thought out. DEFCON says 35 is perfect. Rocky says appropriate sentence. Let's see. Hi, Zide. Simon, hello. I think he got what he deserved. I was just pleased to them take. Yeah, me too. I'm glad that they followed through with it. David Sinclair, DBA, Tariq Bay. I believe you're right, DJen. I think that's right. DJen, you want to pop up here and talk with me? You want to come get on the panel? I bite, though, remember. Here, let me get you a... Just in case. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I didn't know. Yes, this is live, Grimbo. Her trial is in December. It's at the beginning of December, Sharon Tracy Gale. Good to see you too, Zide. I'm sorry, you guys are hearing the news going on in the background, but I can't turn it off because little man will wake up and then there will be no more live for me. Already got a great live stream with a Moor called Root Word. Yes, I'm familiar with who that is. He takes apart words and butchers the English language, stating that all vowels are interchangeable. Kind of like David Wynn Miller. Yeah. I know, it's cray-cray. DJen, you're not going to come visit me tonight? He might be working. I don't know. Hi, Taco Josh. Thanks for coming by. Okay, so I will open up the forum then for anybody who wants to have a discussion. Since DJen, I think, is not coming. Anybody who wants to come on the panel is welcome to do that. We can discuss these things. Roland. No, Roland, you're welcome here. Because I've yelled and screamed at you guys enough, and there needs to be somebody else yelling and screaming too. I don't get to do this very often, so. Hello, pronoun. Alrighty there. Hi, Roland. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, definitely. Everything is, I mean, you're sounding extremely clear, and you're in good form as always.
Thank you. Here we have Goober joining us. Hi, Goober.
What's up, Virgo?
Oh, well, I'm having one of those evenings that I decided I was going to bring it to the forefront, you know.
Yeah, I caught some of it when I got home here, so.
What you got there, Roland?
I have a hole in my glass. I had a screwdriver in here before, but.
Oh, yum.
Easiest drink to make. I love it.
Yum. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably have one of those tonight, even though I don't drink.
Hey, I tell you what, you know, they go down so easily, you don't even taste the vodka.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. Today has been full of all kinds of interesting things. It wasn't just a matter of being taken on by cray cray. That was actually the most mild of it. But I was actually waiting for my spouse to get back from a test where they might have been confirmed positive with the you-know-what from work. So I've had a hard couple of days. So this was just one of the things that set me to say, hey, I'm just going to speak. I'm not going to hold back. Normally, I do things in a way that, is very, well, I want it structured. I don't want to lay too much on too many people. And not tonight. Tonight, I'm doing it. Here I am. This is me.
Nothing wrong with that.
So thank you guys for joining me.
You're more than welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for having us.
And Goober, good to hear you again.
Thank you.
So Leslie says, do you think they would give me a driver's license? Health reasons are why I gave mine up, but maybe they will insure me. Leslie, are you referring to the Moors? It seems like they pretty much will give anybody a driver's license. You know.
Oh, can I do the advertising? Because you're in good hands with Moore State.
There you go. That's a good.
That's actually pretty good.
And I only say that, Leslie, because but wait, there are some requirements. You have to pledge allegiance to them.
Nah,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Goober,
Yeah.
do me a favor and take over the stream for just 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
No problem. How you doing, Roland?
Oh, pretty good. How's it feel to be a guest host?
Pretty good. And actually, I do have an update myself. I am negative as well.
Yeah.
Got my test back this morning.
Very good. Very good.
So I got an extra 2 days off of work because of it.
Hey, enjoy it. It's like, my wife is a teacher, and fortunately in her school, they're doing everything virtually. And so the good thing about it is she's got her computer array over here on the other side of the keyboards. And we've been doing this since March. I mean, to me, I'm thrilled. It's like summer vacation for the last 7 months.
Yeah, honestly, they should have done the same here where I live, but no, they wanted to open up the schools, which doubled the cases, and go back to doing it online.
Well, unfortunately, we have Donnie COVID seed coming to Vegas over and over again. And so anytime you think it's safe to go out, it's another rally today. So, hey, I'm good for another 2 weeks. I can't handle this.
My goodness. Okay, I'm back, you guys.
Welcome back, Virgo. I just told everybody my test was negative as well.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, I got one.
All of the puppies are doing really well that are home, for those of you that are asking.
Very cool.
The other one is about 2 pounds underweight and still fighting. So we are just keeping our fingers crossed on that. But as far as the ones that are here and have been, they are so fat, you guys. They are so fat and so cute, but just really fat.
Well, I take it they're all eating all right then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. They are constantly on the milk bar, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Nice. That's good to hear.
Incidentally, did everybody happen to get that USA Republic channel while they were on here attempting to harass even after they've gotten a cease and desist warning?
I saw one comment, right? The last comment. That's when
they have deleted
live.
it. Make sure in case anybody wants to visit it so that way they know who they are.
Yeah, I blocked them. As soon as you said go away, I was like, all right, done.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, they've got more nerve than they do brains. That's the problem. Because I was not kidding when I said that I had contacted the FBI and my attorney.
Yeah, I still got to do that with Don K. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, he's kind of a pain in the rear end.
He already threatened to take me out, which I know he's not going to, but just to be on the safe side.
Oh, yeah.
So did you guys hear about the Halloween stream that Chuck and I are going to be doing for the Odd Couple on Saturday?
I heard a little bit about it.
Oh, you guys, it's going to be so much fun. I think Chuck has like 3 outfit changes for it.
Oh, man. Is he going to twerk in every outfit?
You never know. You never know. We are going to be having a party. We decided to do this because we wanted to make sure that everybody had a place to go for Halloween without leaving their house.
Yeah.
So we thought it would be, so he's rushing home from work in order to do this. And we're going to be doing all kinds of silly Halloween stories and all kinds of different things that we've located online that'll be fun. And then, of course, all of his different costume changes and just the regular banter that goes on between us. But we're hoping that everybody will join us and stay at home and safe. So Lou says that his squirrel is getting very obese. You think she's about to be mama? Ooh, more babies.
No.
That could be interesting.
Baby squirrels. Lots of secret squirrel accounts.
There you go.
I'm so happy to hear that, number one, Roland, you're staying home and safe all the time. And Goober, that you are not positive. I was very worried about you.
Yes, I got the test this morning. It was negative. So I forwarded it to my HR department. They said, all right, you're good to come back.
Yeah. Our son had to do one of those tests when he felt sick about a month and a half ago. And when he came home from the test, the first thing, well, what'd you think? He said, oh, that test has got to burn. I mean, he said, yeah, he wanted to, he said, just throw that test in the bonfire. It was horrible. And it took him a week to get the results. And so, but they were negative, which is good. Because he works, he's in one of those mission essential jobs. And, he's making some good money in the meantime, which is good. That means we get sushi every now and then. Which is good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Love sushi. Mm.
Oh, I love it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had a couple of big losses off of this channel, and we've had several people that are actually Binary's still in the hospital with it. So,
man.
And then we had Liz D, who came down with it. So yeah, it seems to have hit my subscribers recently. There's quite a few. Of course, it's all over the country, the rise now.
That is true. I was even talking about while you're gone when they opened up the schools here where I'm at. It doubled almost overnight.
Yeah,
and it's been staying that way. We're averaging, I would say, 1,200 a day.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
Well, I got the last fatality list as of 8 o'clock tonight, Pacific time. The number of fatalities was like 228,760. How do you turn the corner on that?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. What's the latest numbers for me? Give me a minute here. Where is my news app?
Of course, we had the mayor of Las Vegas willing to use the whole Vegas Strip as a test ground. And it's like the governor, fortunately, said,
Yeah, that's scary.
So for me, as of today, 1,575 more cases, 10 additional deaths.
Well, everybody say goodnight to Ron. He has to leave us, but thank you so much for coming, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks for listening to me complain.
Take care, Ron.
Paracord Princess says, Virgo, have you seen a channel called Enter the Stars? Sounds like a real wacko. Goes on about Abraham Lincoln time travel in the 5th of November. No, but now that you've mentioned it, I will look it up.
Sounds weird.
Hi, Carolyn.
I have yet to see the film. What was the one they came up with? Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Oh, that's a good
I haven't
one.
seen that. Is it good?
I really have to be in the right mood for it, but I haven't gotten to that level yet. Maybe a couple more of these and I'll be good.
Actually, it is really good. I've watched it several times.
My thing is somebody was one of the audiobook commercials. Somebody had made a comment on there where they were like, I never thought I'd be in the historical fiction, but now I love it. And it's like, Historical fiction. You know how I went to sleep this morning?
How?
It's no secret because, I'm up all night and I go to sleep when the sun comes up. I did this as a test. I found a YouTube video. It was a replay from CBS. It was CBS's broadcast on November 22nd, 1963, where it starts off where, normally they were running As the World Turns. That used to be one of my mom's favorite stories.
Mhm.
Don't interrupt her during her stories. And about 5 minutes into it, they broke in with the first, the first notice that, President Kennedy had been assassinated. I laid down on my pillow. I probably got some of the best sleep I could ever ask for. It wasn't like I was paying attention to it. It just had some noise going on in the room.
Right.
Oh man. I mean, it was like, cause I remember I was home when those things were going on. So it was like, it's like I was like, 9 years old again.
Right. Yeah.
And of course, it made me look like I was 9 years old again, which gives you an idea how atrocious of a kid I was.
Oh, stop.
Oh man, I was a little sniveling brat.
Well, I'll have to see if I can find that movie. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Yeah. It might be on Netflix. It's on. I got all those. I have all those streaming services, and
Yeah.
and most of the time I'll sit there with just some weird YouTube video like that. And they have the other networks as well. When you get tired of CBS, you can watch ABC and NBC. And just to watch people, scurrying around back then, because we had no internet. The best thing they could do is there was a picture that Walter Cronkite had in his hands. And used to be what they called, the pictures in the newspaper were done with, AP wire photo, which was a fax.
Mm-hmm.
But it at least gave you some image of what was taking place. Everything was on film. They had to take it from the scene and fly it to New York to develop it and then put it on TV. So it was such a different time. But I remember that, so well.
Well, that'll be interesting. I'm really, really looking forward to this. Are you giggling, Goober?
Sorry, I just saw something that's really, really funny.
Are you going to share, or are you going to keep us in suspense?
I can share it. Give me a second here.
I was saying while we're waiting for Goober, I'm really looking forward to this live stream on Saturday because it's just going to be wild fun without having to worry about, keeping a show together the way that I normally worry about it. We're just going to kind of let loose on Saturday for the Halloween thing. So I'm super excited about that. We might even have a guest that has never that we've never talked to before. That would be my significant other. Might show up too. I don't know.
All right, ready?
Yeah, I've got it up. Oh, they're doing all these Michael Myers things.
Oh, it gets better.
Hi, Randy. Glad you showed up. We're watching something funny. Look at what you've done to the floor. Please save me. He's asking Michael Myers to save him. Oh. Oh my gosh, Goober, you have to send this to me. Oh.
Do not ever mess with a Mexican mama and her flip flop.
No, never.
Never, never.
Her cold cream, apparently.
Mm.
That's why I was giggling. I was like, oh my god.
Well,
Oh,
let's see. What today's the 28th. There's enough time to do this. Is there any requests for a particular Halloween song that can be put together?
actually, if you could do something for the beginning, that would be something similar to like, oh, I don't know, kind of with the feeling of maybe Dead Man's Party or something like that.
I've got the big old cathedral organ, that I can throw in there. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean anything that where there's anything where it sounds eerie but kind of upbeat also. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I have a file, and if you want it as a kind of a background for the show, the Star Wars people did a Halloween soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, and so you've got all the little ominous wind and stuff like that, and every now and then you'll hear one of the sand people in the background.
Oh, cool.
I'll send that to you.
That would be neat.
Yeah, I think I could email that to you. It should be small enough to send.
That'd be great. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I'll put that on my things to do list.
Thank you so much.
And you can loop it. It runs a fairly long time, so you can loop it if you need to.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Star Wars Halloween. Okay, and then some Dead Man's Party soundtrack. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
So KGS Junior says, "Big old organ. What kind of stuff's going on here?"
No, not that kind of organ.
Not that kind of organ.
Yeah, I'm an old man. Those days are over.
Oh, come on.
Nice. I'm an old fart. Where's I have the official crown.
Oh, you do? I'd never seen that one for you before.
So, like I said, my wife had it. She got her last, not her last, but she has a master's degree in theater. So I have props everywhere.
Oh, wow. Well, that's kind of cool, though.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why I do the soundtrack. She does the visual.
So I'm really excited now. We're going to have music and everything. And I have absolutely no idea what Chuck is going to come up with in terms of costumes. I just know that he's doing costume changes.
Yeah.
And Chuck he's out there. You never know what you're going to get.
How about this one here? I can do the I'm sure I can come up with enough lyrics if I push myself to it. We'll do the More Mishmash.
Good one.
I'm on it.
Good one.
Okay.
Love that.
Okay. Oh man. This thing is writing itself already.
We could do the sob sit party.
Oh yeah.
The dead sob sit party.
Dead sob sit party. Okay. Oh man.
Thank you so much for showing up. Really appreciate it. KGS JR. So anyway, now that I've gotten everything out, and I've yelled and I've screamed. See, I didn't call you Goober.
You could have.
I know, but I did it live. Are you proud of me?
Yeah, you know you could always call me.
Always. I know that, and I love you for that, but I wanted to do it live and get it out there in the ether.
Nothing wrong with that.
People need to be aware
That
of
is true.
what these claims are that they're making. Crazy.
Yeah, the people I really feel sorry for are the ones who buy into this.
Right. That's the whole reason why I started exposing them in the first place.
Yeah.
But you notice they don't get people high up. They always get like the low income people because
Yes.
they're more easily to buy into it.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, it's so upsetting to consistently hear that, oh, it's because you're prejudiced or something of that sort.
Yeah.
When in reality, if I was prejudiced, I wouldn't care about the people that are following. And that is really who I'm concerned about. That's who I'm worried about, are the people that are falling for this stuff. These crazy fringe ideologies have gotten so many people put behind bars. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
You know, when somebody thinks they're dealing with a group that actually has some authority of some sort, then that just makes that lends credibility to the lies that they're telling, and I just can't stand for that.
They have as much credibility to do anything as probably I do. All I can do is put the information out there.
We're all just citizens. That's the whole point. But
Yep.
they refuse to be citizens. They believe that they are above the law in many different areas. They believe that they're not under anybody's jurisdiction, even though they they file under a jurisdiction. It's just insane. It's just insane, the whole thing.
Well, they use the laws that you and I will follow to legitimize their little clown show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like the Soviets who, they love to invoke the Constitution anytime that they're in trouble. It's about as bad as when they get arrested. Now suddenly they have a disability.
Exactly. It's sickening. It's really sickening. There's a Moor that I have not actually exposed yet, that I have been collecting a lot of videos and statements on, in order to do an expose on them. And what they're doing is they are directing people to quit their jobs and basically to scam other people, because that's the only way that you're ever going to be free from the system. So becoming a scam artist is the best way to get off the grid, is basically what they're teaching.
Well, here's the thing. Even in legitimate, in the legitimate legal profession, there's weasels out there as well. There was a guy in Louisiana who he was a biker until somebody tried running him off the road, and it laid him up in the hospital for about 6 months. And he got a lawyer. The lawyer said, same thing. Yeah, well, you get out of the hospital, make sure you quit your job, don't do anything. His logic was that, well, if you are working, then you're not going to be able to demonstrate any kind of a disability. And he stayed home, and this thing went on for about 1.5 years, and then it finally ended up settling before it went to trial. And yeah, there was a pretty good amount of money that was, that was part of that. But unfortunately, the majority of that money went to legal fees, court costs, expert testimony, the doctors that this guy would send them to. When it was all over, he got a check for like $600.
Wow.
So nobody, as a paralegal for 18 years, nothing's funnier than watching somebody who thought they were going to own everybody's house in the neighborhood. And, because, say their child got bitten by the neighbor's dog. And yeah, the homeowner's insurance would, settle later on. The very first thing they come in there and they say, well, where's the check? I said, well, it's not that easy. You have to go and establish a checking account for your child. It goes into that child's checking account. And what's more, you can't spend any of that money without approval of the court.
Right.
And they'd have this look on their face like, well, what do I get out of it? And the attorney would just calmly say, you get the privilege of telling everybody you have a wealthy child.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then they come in and try to request stuff for the child. My child thinks we need a new swimming pool.
Yeah.
Judges usually, especially in Nevada, it's like denied.
This is so, I mean, it's the age of entitlement. I can't believe it. Between the entitlement, the ignorance, the willfully ignorant, don't care to even try to research. And then the alternative facts. That's the thing that, the alternative facts.
Don't get me started.
The claim that if I don't like it, then it doesn't have to be my truth.
Yeah, see, that's the phrase, my truth. Like Abraham Lincoln, vampire slayer. Everybody know. When I was in school, they taught us in history class about how Lincoln was slaying vampires all over the place. They had to give him a job at the White House. There's my truth.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me that this idea that there isn't one truth. There's many different truths. And that was, believe it or not, that was the decision behind me making my motto as the facts matter.
Yeah.
Because I kept getting things like, well, that's not my truth. Well, the truth is just the truth. No, my truth is my truth. Your truth is your truth. No, you're crazy is you're crazy. And the truth is just the truth. But I decided rather than have that argument consistently, because that was exhausting the first time, that I would just call it that I would just say the facts matter, because the facts are just the facts.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Who was it? John Adams said years ago that facts are stubborn things. But that was like the early 19th century, I think, around the time he said that. And then people who didn't pay attention in history class, I remember in 1988 Ronald Reagan doing a speech at the Republican National Convention, and he didn't get that. He said that facts are stupid things. It's like, yeah, you got part of it right, Ron, but
wow.
Yeah, and they're all over the place. Everybody's got their own alternative facts. That's why I reign as the president of the People's Republic of Umama.
Where they all wear cat ears.
Where cat ears are mandatory. You can't even visit as a tourist without being issued a set of cat ears.
I see. And do you have the legal authorization from the jurisdiction you are governed under to be issuing said cat ears?
As a matter of fact, my legal advisor is right over here. Do I have that authority to issue the cat ears? Oh yeah, sure. See?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And on top of that, we only have one recognized religion. That's Rolando's Witnesses.
Only
Hmm.
sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
No, I have my, we our nation only recognizes one religion, which is Rolando's Witnesses.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, the catnet says arguing with one who disregards logic is like administering medicine to the dead. Let me tell you what, catnet, I seriously felt like I had a freaking medicine spoon this afternoon. I really did. Ugh.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
having to deal with someone who lives outside of the reality of our universe is really trying.
yeah.
And I think I used to actually be better at it from a temperament standpoint. I think when I first started my channel, I had a lot more patience for the willfully stupid than I currently have.
Mm.
I seem to now just, very rapidly get bothered by it and get short tempered in comparison. I
Have you ever?
guess maybe the YouTube channel has done something to me.
Here's the thing, Virgo. Have you ever been at a party where you just having a good time on your own, and you hear these two people talking about stuff they know nothing about, and you want to jump in there right away? It's like, dude, that ain't how it is. And instead, it's like, nah, I'm sorry, I can't deal with this.
Yes, I have actually a very funny story that pertains to something very similar to that. Yes. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. Carolyn, I that's a Sovsit ideology thing. And we are not under admiralty law in any way, shape, or form.
Nope.
So yes, that's one of their things they like to say. Though most of the sad thing about it is what the Moors don't understand is a lot of the ideology that they're trying to use and tell their followers is actually ideology that comes with a very ugly prejudice, we'll say, background. And the makers of that ideology were terrible people when it came to being um, racist, prejudice, however you want to put it. Just really ugly. And that's
Well,
part of what makes me feel so badly for the followers with regards to the Moors, because a lot of them don't realize that that's where it started from.
one thing that people are not aware of, I mean, because the image that anybody who's actually watching this whole video thing, if you're seeing this, one of the things you have to take in consideration is I have stabilizers all around here. If I take those stabilizers off, you'll find out that I'm actually not in a house. I'm on a vessel. See, right now we have some choppy seas, and I'm trying to keep everything together. Let's put those stabilizers back on.
Oh, that's funny.
Get back up there. It's hard to find good technology anymore.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys have Marcel Bassett in Canada. That's very true. That's very true. And then, of course, the David Icke people. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Gigi, I know. You can't get much more down in the hole than David Icke, can you? I mean, that's a serious rabbit hole there with those lizard people.
We have lizard people.
David Icke and his lizard people. Remember, the Queen's a lizard person, and lizard people
Ah.
are all of the entertainers and politicians are really lizard people.
If
Did
you've
not
seen some of
know
these
that.
people after they've had work done, that's not too far from the truth.
Good point.
No, but he's serious. He believes that they can shapeshift, and from human form to their real form, which are lizards, and they drink blood and all kinds of terrible stuff.
Well, I visited somebody who was in a mental institution many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a guy there that was totally convinced that he was a veteran of World War III. And he went into excruciating detail about how the cruise missiles were coming down and dropping these bombs at any given time. Come to find out, when he flipped out, he was playing. Remember Missile Command?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing Missile Command, and he became one with the video game,
Oh wow.
and that became his truth.
Mm-mm-mm.
Hmm.
Hope he got better.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, I'm cool with the idea that there are people that are out there that truly are delusional and have mental health issues that create these type of delusions. But most of the time the people that are spreading a bunch of crap like this are just con artists. They're just scammers. Think of all the books that David Icke has sold, all the seminars and all of the different inserts into magazines and movies that he's produced and sold, all over the fact that supposedly all of the elite and entertainers and politicians all around the world, including the Queen and everybody else, they're all lizards that shapeshift into humans when they're in public.
Hey, where do I learn that power?
I don't know, Goober. We need to go to school, back to school, I guess. Apparently, I mean, I'm being told I know nothing today, so we need to go back to school and learn everything all over again.
Oh yes.
Well, in a way, I can understand, and this is one of the things that these guys love to forget everything you knew about fill in the blanks, and it's the same thing that professors in college will tell their first year students. Forget what you learned in high school, and in a
Right.
way, it's very true because a lot of the stuff that public schools teach are not very useful, especially if you're trying to, learn world history, things like this. And so, unfortunately, they use that same technique. Forget everything you know about this.
Well, yeah, but when we're and I understand what you're saying, but when we are dealing with something that I physically as a person have done numerous times,
Yeah.
through different businesses and that sort of thing, it's like it, it's just ridiculous. But the majority of these people that are on YouTube, for example, will say that, like David Icke, forget everything you know, it's all a lie. You don't know what the government's doing, blah blah blah. Okay, well, most people don't know for sure intricately what the government's completely doing, but generally how our government works and functions. Yeah, those of us that have studied it understand it and know it to be true,
Mm-hmm.
because things continue to turn out a specific way, so it's obviously true. I mean, I just, this everything is a lie. It's just a way to throw people off balance so that it's easier to capture them into their cult.
Yep.
It's easier to remold somebody when they're off balance and they feel like they don't know, they're very unsure of their own footing.
Well, it reminds me of there's a joke of this guy who goes into an agent's office. I know it's not a joke thing, but that's me. Welcome to my world. And the guy goes in an agent's office and says, "You know what? I bet you $100 I can bite my left eye." Agent says, "Yeah, you're crazy. Yeah, you're on." Puts the money down. The guy pulls his dentures out, bites his left eye. Puts them back in, takes the money, says, "I bet you I can bite my right eye in a totally different way. You guys, oh, yeah, I got to see this. Puts another 100 down. He happened to have his right eye happened to be a glass eye, so of course he pulls it out, bites it, puts it back in,
Ah.
collects the money. Then he tells the agent, says, "You know what? I bet you $100 that I can pee all over you and you won't get wet." And I said, "Oh man, yeah, that's impossible. Yeah, you're on." And so the guy gets up on the desk, pees all over him. The guy's totally dripping wet. He gets down, walks away. It's can't win them all.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was a rough one there, Roland.
Yeah, I know. It depends on what if you're at a party, it works much better. So it's kind of a party, but everybody else on the chat is going, "Oh my God, groan," and rightfully so.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Randy. No, it's Lou that says, "And I'm all out of bubble gum." You know what movie that came from?
Yeah.
Goober, you know what movie that came from?
I think I do.
From It Lives, or They Live, or what is it? What's the name of the movie, Lou? It's with Roddy Dow.
Roddy McDowell.
Yeah, Roddy McDowell, where everybody in the movie is either a human or this alien bunch of people, or They Live. It's called They Live. And let me see if I can find the trailer. Hang on just a second.
Yeah,
I might have seen it. I just don't
well,
recognize.
that line, everybody has used that line since, but I mean, it's a very useful one.
Well, it looks like they've actually made a new one and there's a trailer for it, but the one that I'm referring to is older and I don't see the actual trailer for it, unfortunately. But for anybody who wants to know about it, it's it's an older movie. It's from the early 80s. And what it's about is exactly what David Icke talks about. It is about this guy, Roddy. He comes into town and he's new and he's looking for a job. And he meets all of these basically street people that are all kind of in a bunch of tents that are doing construction and working on a church together. And then he finds these glasses in this church. He puts a pair on, and these glasses allow him to see that a lot of these people walking around that have money are actually like monsters of some sort. And so he continues to tell a couple of people about it. They get together and decide they're going to try to stop them from doing whatever it is that they're doing. I can't remember what their main plot is, but it's basically destroying the nation or keeping people in poverty. I mean, it's a play on the inequality and that sort of thing, but literally making these people monsters. And that's kind of what David Icke does. He quite literally claims that they are lizard.
They're the lizard people.
Yeah. That they're up to all of these terrible things, and they are not stoppable because they're powerful and they're stronger than normal humans. And, it's a fear-based cult. Basically.
Yeah, I think I saw a lizard person one time. It was 1976 at a Ramones concert in Austin, Texas. The opening act for them was this band called Alon, and the keyboard player, they had this green spotlight shining on him. And if you've ever played on stage, those lights get really hot. And so he's kind of sweaty, and he looked like the creature from the Black Lagoon already. But that light just made him look like he had scales. And when he played, his neck kind of went like that. Oh man. So I've seen the Lizard Man. He played good keyboards too.
Well, this is I would say it's a fairly decent movie if you're into that sort of conspiracy thing. But this is what I swear, Dave. This must have been David Icke's favorite movie because he seriously takes a lot of information out of it and uses it in his speeches and his books, and then he just kind of replays all of it and stretches it out into different directions. It seems, but everything, literally everything to David Icke is a conspiracy. Everything. You have a wart on your finger. It is a freaking conspiracy. All right.
Oh man.
Somebody snuck in the middle of the night, like a short little, one inch high Keebler came in and put it there, and for the purpose of the government to control your right hand. And
Oh man. I've already come up with the chorus for the spell that right. I think I have the chorus for the Moor Mishmash already written.
Cool.
That just it wrote itself.
It wrote itself, huh?
It did.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of material to choose from.
I know. I mean, it's man. Yeah, if you think the chorus, the verses will be even better.
Well, I'm very excited to hear it.
And get that whole Bobby Boris Pickett thing. He did the Moor Mishmash.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, I'm going to have to hang this up, unfortunately, guys, because I've got puppies that I've got to go tend to.
Yeah.
But I want to thank everybody for listening to me have my little say. I hope you guys enjoyed being able to take a look at the information that was the little disagreement back and forth, and with the USAR, they're calling themselves the United States America Republic.
Well, they're going to get some trademark problems with the U.S. Army Reserve now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I don't even want to go there right now.
It's okay. Well, yeah, Virgo, I know, you got your hands full right now, which, it's perfectly understandable. And I thank you for putting up with my nonsense. One day, I don't know. You get bored in the middle of the night and don't feel like doing one of these live things. I'll send you my Skype.
Oh yeah, do that, please.
And so, like that, I'm up usually until about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I get my nap before I take my son to work and all that. But you'll have that information as well.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, send it to me, because there are times, and then every once in a while, Goober ends up going to bed early, and I'm just all alone. So
well, hey,
just kidding.
All you got to do is text me and say,
Yeah, but that's the thing you got to bear in mind, is that you can't wake me up. I mean, it's like, maybe in the morning, and forget that.
Oh, yeah, right. No. No, I was just kidding with Goober too, because he's always Goober's a great friend. But
Goober's a good dude.
Let me answer this question real quick. Rodent of Anger. No, you do not have to be a patron. The party is going to be open to everybody for Saturday night. I assume that's what you're talking about, rather. So we're really looking forward to that. Chuck will be with me for that. Let's see. Yes, I know you're an insomniac, Wonder Woman. Also, we've got a lot of insomniacs actually in here.
That's right.
I usually don't go to bed till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Early bird.
Okay, Pete, if you're talking about the Halloween party that we're doing on Saturday, it won't be in your notifications until Friday. Till Friday morning or late tomorrow night. If I send them out too early, then people forget. So that will be showing up sometime tomorrow night or early Friday morning. Let's see. Did you hear about Masshole being stalked? I did. I feel very badly for Kate. But as I always say, for anybody who is getting ready to start a YouTube channel or anything on social media for that matter, please protect your identity like it is your life, because it may be. These people, especially people that you are exposing, do not like being exposed, and some of them are dangerous. So just a warning. I'm not saying that it's Masshole report's fault by any means. I'm just saying be cautious. That's all. And I certainly hope Kate has gotten in touch with law enforcement.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Miss Jarhead, are you asking about Masshole reports, Kate? I don't know that much
Hey,
about
Mr.
it.
Hood, Mr. Hood.
All I know is, Mr. and Mrs. are here. Yeah. All I know is that it was a couple of, I believe, auditors that showed up at her home. I don't know the full details of it because I was not watching the live stream where they went over it. But I do know, I did hear about it. I do know that there's some problems going on with that. So I really hope she's doing okay and has got law enforcement involved. I will absolutely kiss the puppies and Miss Morgana for everyone.
Please do.
Sorry, what'd you say, Goober?
Please do. They are adorable.
Yes, I love them so much. I love them so much. There's one that looks so much like Little Man. I can't hardly put it down. It's terrible. I'm in love with it. But I'm in love with them all, as you guys know.
Well, and understandably so.
Yes, I would be a happy person if I could just go to puppy heaven. When I go, just send me to puppy heaven.
There you go.
Dog
We'll make
heaven.
sure you go there.
It looks like Desert says that Kate is taking a break, so that's good. I'm hoping that she's doing very well. So it's News New England and No Name Audits that showed up at the door. Furry Potato showed up in Boston. Okay. I knew that it was some auditors that showed up. That it's unbelievable. Unbelievable to me, the gall of these people. But once again, that's the reason why I'm not on camera or film or not film, video. Film. What are we, like 1930 going on here?
Yeah.
That's also the reason why my name and pictures are not anywhere, because it is absolutely 100% not going to happen without a whole hell of a lot of hacking over here.
No, that's not something that doesn't bother me at all. Hearing your voice is sufficient.
Well, I'm glad. I'm very glad that didn't hinder me too badly, because it is simply too dangerous. I've been threatened too many times. The FBI is on a first name basis with me at this point in a couple of different states. So yeah, it definitely is something you have to be cautious of. They actually went to her door. Wow. Well, if anyone talks to Kate, please let her know that I'm thinking of her. And if she needs to email or anything, to please feel free to do so. And like I said, I've been out of the loop. The puppy thing has really taken over my life a great deal. And it will unfortunately probably be that way for the next couple of weeks until they get to the point where they're 100% out of any kind of danger zone, because we lost a couple of them. So now I'm like one of those hovering grandmothers.
I just looked up at the video image. There's an old guy on this thing.
What
the hell happened?
Oh, you mean that attractive man right there that has all the talent in the world?
I was 19 when I logged on.
Roland, you still look 19.
Oh, shucks. Well, 19 in the brain, at least. See, people don't realize that, I deal with a lot of stuff by giving people the impression that I'm some kind of a buffoon. And it helps. It really does.
Well, we know
but no, they're not pulling anything off, you know, but it's fun watching them think they did.
Desert says Roland TV adds 10 years to your age or something like that.
I
I
thought
always
it was,
thought it was 10 pounds, but apparently it's 10 years.
no, it was 15 pounds. I used to wear a suit jacket on stage because the first time that I was on video in Austin for this community access channel brought in a 3-camera shoot for the gig we were playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at that thing as, oh no, that ain't gonna work. And fortunately, it hasn't run in like 25 years, but nobody needs that. So I started wearing the suit jacket. I felt a whole lot better afterwards.
Good. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you so much for updating us on Kate. I really appreciate that. And I will be back with another video tomorrow that I think everybody is going to want to see. It has to do with one of our favorite type of people getting thrown out of an airport.
Nice.
So,
Yeah,
Interesting.
like the song goes, when will they ever learn?
yeah, never. They'll never learn. So everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you to Goober and to Roland for
Thank
popping
you.
up here on the panel with me. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Take care.
Love you guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.